What can you offer to people that you think people would actually pay you for? Prevention will always be better than cure. I want to share with you 9 entrepreneurship success quotes that are backed up by psychology that will help transform your business, whatever business you have. In this episode of Coach Antonio, I want to share with you 9 entrepreneurship quotes from 9 very inspirational people that I think would really help your mindset improve. You ready? Let's go. Number 1, always deliver more than expected. Larry Page, co-founder of Google. So I always have this mindset in any of the businesses that I have, especially like in our ad agency, Aguirre Advertising, that we under-promise, but we always try to over-deliver because you want to exceed the expectations that they have with you so that you're able to give out what is necessary and beyond that. When I worked for Accenture back then, they have a saying that they have high performance delivered. That's their main thing. And it always stuck with me when they say high performance delivered, because high performance can be better than that. And it's always going to be delivered. I think Larry Page made a great saying that having their performance given and then doing something extra and beyond it, something beyond what is expected from you, it's a great way to show that you're dedicated to what you're trying to do. Number 2, chase the vision, not the money. The money will end up following you. Quote by Tony Sai. People always ask me when I coach is that, what's a business that I can start or do so that I make money, a lot of money? The thing is, you're always asking me the wrong question. You should be asking me is that, what's one thing I can do that can bring so much value to people that they will pay me for it? I mean, that's the more subtle way or a better way to say that you want to make money. What can you offer to people that you think people would actually pay you for? What skill do you have? What's your primary skill that you know that if you're good enough or more than good enough than the average person, that you can do repeatedly, constantly, and with dedication, that you can get better and better at it, that, you know, people would pay you for? Like, for example, if you're a photographer and you start off for free and you do like 10 clients and you can show one client that this is what I've done for the other clients that I've done for free, you need to be patient for that, of course. And then you can start charging 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. That's why there's some photographers out there that can charge $500,000 pesos for just one photo shoot. It's because they can. It's because they've done the body of work. The saying that if you have a good vision and you have a dream and you have a goal, follow that. Don't follow the money. It's like a girl that you're trying to court. When you're trying to chase the girl just keeps running around because you keep chasing her, they'll get tired. Don't chase whatever it is when it comes to wealth. Chase your value. That's the most important thing. Number 3, it's not about the ideas. It's about making ideas happen. Scott Belsky. I talked about in a previous video why ideas are shit. Like, I have 1,001 ideas here for you. If you want to get that from me, send me a direct message on my Instagram. Perhaps you can send me a direct message, AntonioAguirre.jr. And I can share with you any ideas for a startup business that you can have. But the thing is, you're not going to be successful with it. Why? Because ideas are ideas. Execution will always be king. Ideas are queen. Executing your ideas and making it happen is more important. Nobody cares about ideas. You can say you're going to build, the highest skyscraper in the world. Words are words. But if you show it, you've done it, you've made the highest skyscraper in the world, people are going to ask you how. You don't say what you're going to do. You do what you're going to do and then let people notice what you're doing. See, a lot of kids have it wrong when they say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's fine. You can make a declaration for that. And then after a year's time, when I look back at what he said, nothing. What does that person? Words. Trash. Something similar to that is what they have. Always put in the action first, put your head down and do the work. And when you've done the work, you've done so much work, let people notice about your work. And that's when, everybody will just notice you for what you've done. Number 4, stay self-funded for as long as possible. That was Garrett Camp. He's the founder of Expa, Uber, and Stumble Upon. Those 3. This is a great way to explain, like in the book that I read, 12 Months to 1 Million by Daniel Moran, that says, stay bootstrapped. If you don't know what bootstrap means, it's using the funds that you have, that you started with for your startup, for as long as you can hold. Not any money shelling out for personal expenses. Everything that they make, it goes back into the business. If you spend, let's say, 10,000 pesos for your business and you make, let's say, 30,000, none of that goes to your bill. The 20,000 that goes in there stays in there because you don't want outside funding. You want to have total control of your business for as long as you can. Why? Because it just makes sense if you have that decision as majority owner of your business. If you still own 100% of your business, you're free to make any decisions that you want without someone else making that decision for you. And when the time comes you have a partner, you don't want to give majority of your shares just because if you don't have controlling power, most of the decisions will not be up to you and you don't want that. So that's number 4. Number 5, and this is very critical. Data beats emotions. Sean Red, he's the founder of Tinder. Sean Red made a great quote here by saying that data will always beat any emotion. When you say, I feel like this candidate is going to win the elections just because of what I see on social media, that he or she is doing so good in social media with what they're doing now, or their rallies are huge, or their sorties are amazing and stuff. But that's your emotion talking. That's what you see. But when you research using data and you use data mining and everything, and you have facts, like gathered data, not just surveys of everything, that's when, okay, sit down. Here's the data. Here's the actual data. I believe more in data rather than the emotions. Like when I ask my staff, how did we do? Did we sell a lot? I think we did. I feel like there was so many customers that went to our shop today. And then when you check how much sales you actually have, which is the data itself, it wasn't a lot. It's not based on your goals or your quota or whatsoever. Look at the data first before you use your emotions. Don't ever say, when you first say that you think, oh, I think. When you mention those words, I think, now you're talking based out of your emotions, not based on the data. When you have data, that's your receipt. That what you're trying to say or explain for what you see in the data, that's proof. I think I saw that we had a good trend last March or last February. It was better than our January or the previous month. If you just say like, oh, I think we had a great month in March and February better than January, I think. You don't have data for that to prove. But if you show the data, here's the data. Here's how much we made, how much we sold and everything. You're basing everything now on data. So data will always be better than emotions. To add to that also, like when you're promoting someone in work, you always see what work they've done, work that they've achieved compared to the others. If you're just going to promote someone because of tenure, then it's really a bad way to promote someone. Base it on what they've done. You always have the data for that too. Number 6, see things in the present, even if they are in the future. Again, that's a quote by Larry Ellison. And the great thing about that, it's very much related to a stoic mindset, which is living in the present moment. Because when you see things as they are in the present, you're thinking about the future already. Because the things that you do now greatly affects the future, not the past. Because whatever you're doing now won't change the past. If you failed in your past quest for success in your business, whatever you do now, it's not going to change your past. If your business flopped before, you're not going to be able to change that. What you can change is what you are focused now for the future. You are planting seeds now for your future. And that's what it meant here by that saying. See things in the present, even if they are in the future. Because the future is not set. It's never going to be set. Like if you say you're going to make a billion-dollar company for the future, the actions that you put in now is more important than what's going to happen in the future. Because you can't really predict what's going to happen. But what you can predict is the work that you put in for now. Number 7, I know most of you probably would have heard this, which is life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. Quote by Charles R. Swindoll. Life is just 10%. Whatever is happening to us, that's 10%. Whatever we do, because that is in our control, that is the 90%. Life is what's happening to us right now, like whatever is going on, things that happen to us, like problems, situations, success, failures, and everything. And how we react to those is 90%. That 90% is crucial because that's you. It's all you. It's how you react to things that matter. Whatever happens is that you become more proactive rather than being reactive. That's one of my favorite things to be at. It's like you don't react to things, you become proactive to things. I always say that prevention will always be better than cure. Preventing a problem from happening is better than solving a problem because it's gonna be more expensive to solve a problem. I work with PR too, PR and disaster management. When a company hires me to help them solve a PR disaster that they did, it's more expensive. But sometimes these companies don't want to pay for or retainer for having someone monitor what their team is actually doing. Hence, they pay actually more to solve a problem rather than preventing that problem to have. When this shipping company had a problem wherein an employee posted, a disaster of how their warehouse looked like, it was a PR disaster, right? Huge PR disaster. Oh my God, I saw how bad it is and stuff like that. So they had to hire someone to work on their PR so that they would look better instead of doing the other thing around. Number 8, the biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. And it's a quote by Oprah Winfrey. Oprah's one of my favorite people in the world just because of how she sees things in life. You always take your dreams into something that you can put out in real life. I always envy athletes who get paid to do what they do. Why? Because they're doing something that they love, something that they dreamed about as a kid. When you're a kid, you have this paper curled up like a ball, and then you shoot 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you shout, for example, Kobe. 20 years after, you're doing that in an actual game. Like, how cool was that? Being able to live out the dreams that you have is the greatest adventure that anyone can have. That's why every time you see someone doing the things that they love in real life, that's something that you wish you could do. The thing is, it's never too late to start something that you always wanted to do, right? I mean, if you're behind a desk right now working for someone else and you wanted to do something you want to do for yourself because it's your dream, it's not too late. I mean, you could do it tomorrow, perhaps. It's up to you. And lastly, number 9. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. George Bernard Shaw. So I've always been a huge fan of this quote just because I always say this in all of my, majority of my talks and on social media as well, is that you'll never find yourself. What you need to do is start creating yourself. You're never going to find yourself out there. Even if you walk 1,000 miles out there, you're never going to find yourself. Finding yourself is a joke. It's not true. What you need to do is focus on yourself, give yourself some time to develop whatever skill it is that you have, and try to be the best at what you do. It's about creating who you are. If your name holds no weight right now, think of it this way. How can your name have some weight in it? Like when they mention your name, Juan de la Cruz. Juan de la Cruz doesn't hold weight. Nothing. If Juan de la Cruz focuses on solving one big problem society has, and he's able to solve it, wouldn't his name hold weight even more instead? So that's the meaning of that. If you focus yourself on, for example, this microphone, whoever made this microphone, one of the best microphones I've ever used. If you focus on making the best microphone ever, and that's your mission in life, to do that, wouldn't that hold weight? That name itself hold weight? Here's my question for you. What's that one thing that you think you're good at, that you can be a lot better with time and practice and dedication? That's something that society will value you for what you do over time. What's that one skill that you have that you think people will finally say, oh, this name holds weight. This person does something very important in society, that he fixes a problem that we have. Let me know in the comment section.